make you forget Tyrann's past?
I mean, I don't want to sit here and just like beat a dead horse every time the subject comes up. I don't care if a player smokes weed. They shouldn't be testing for it. They sell alcohol during commercial breaks. It is hypocritical to test for weed. Now, you can always make the argument if a guy does it knowing the rules, that's a problem. I agree. The irony in that stance is that the ones who are getting caught obviously maybe need some help because they're risking a lot for something that doesn't seem very important. In terms of the performance, because it's the opposite of a performance enhancer, I would say that should show up on the field. And if a guy is still productive on the field, the argument that he'd be even more productive is really nobody's business, in my opinion. There'd be lots of things that would make someone more or less productive. But let's talk about Tyrann Mathieu, the player. One of the most versatile defenders in football. Now, here's the issue I have. Adrian Peterson has everyone feeling like, oh, an ACL. You know, big deal, it's an ACL. ACL on the left side, now on the right side. Both. If he is most of the same player, when you look at the Cardinals, who are favored to win the whole thing, you know, I get it. The average in terms of total yards, defense that wins the Super Bowl is ranked 7th. The average offense is ranked 8th. Arizona last year, in terms of that metric, 5th in defense, 1st in offense. I mean, this is a serious Super Bowl contender. When you really look at them, what's the weakness? They even bring in Mathis on the offensive line, who, according to Pro Football Focus, was their highest graded offensive, well, guard anyway, since week 3 of last season. He's one of the reasons when we keep bringing up the Eagles suffering so bad and what happened to the running game and all that stuff. He wasn't on the team. They got rid of him before the year started. And then started for the Super Bowl champs, for the Broncos. When you look at Arizona, the addition of Tyrann Mathieu, if he's mostly the same player, I think correctly makes them Super Bowl favorites.
I agree with you. Tyrann Mathieu is big time. I mean, this guy, he's played some linebacker. When he's blitzing the quarterback, there's nobody better. Some have argued. I remember my man Brian Baldinger from the NFL Network. He and I know each other from our Philly days. What's up, my man?
Baldy.
I'm proud of him.
The fingers.
I love my brother. He's good people. He said a legitimate argument could be made that Tyrann Mathieu is the best all-around football player in the NFL. He's that serious. He's a playmaker. He's a ball hawk. Against speedy receivers, he's going to get his hands on the football. Against guys that, don't know what they're doing, he always seems to know what he's doing. And he overachieves consistently to the point where you don't even question it anymore. And I think you could tell a lot by Patrick Peterson and others and how happy they were for him when he got this contract, which brings me to the point that I wanted to make about you. You bring up how you don't care if they test for weed, okay? My thing is, neither do I. That's not the point. The point is they actually do. And so for me, it's not about, there's plenty of rules. There's plenty of regulations. Look, man, we got rules at ESPN. You think I wouldn't like to break a few of them? You're damn right I would. Let me be the first to tell you. But guess what? The golden rule applies. Those who have the gold makes the rules. And these are the rules. And so the question is, can you follow suit? The fact that this is a guy that was a Heisman Trophy finalist, then he gets thrown off the team for repeated violations of their drug policy, then gets arrested with 3 other dudes, okay, at LSU, okay, because of the same offense, and you had questions about his future where he was nuclear and a lot of people didn't want to touch him. To go from that to where he is right now, I can't even express to you how proud I am of the brother, because he, to me, epitomizes really the argument that I consistently have tried to make sitting up here over the last 3 years doing this show. I'm not talking, I agree with you, certain things shouldn't be tested for, whatever, but that's not the point to me. The point is what they do. This is what they're doing. Can you follow the rules or can't you? This notion that I would come on here and sing along and wax eloquently about the dangers of smoking weed and all of this. Look, man, I know too many dudes who do it.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't get their money affected by it. I'm talking strictly about dudes who get their money affected.
You're not being moral police.
So go ahead. Here's the thing. I agree with y'all. I came on here. I took a lot of flack when leaving Pittsburgh saying they shouldn't test for it. And that I knew people who did it.
Right.
But here's the thing. Here's my issue with it. We said, does this deal and what he's done make you forget his past? I wish it wouldn't. Here's why. If he was still smoking, if he had smoked himself out of the league, if we never saw that talent come into what it has come into the $40 million guaranteed, being the highest paid safety, we would talk about it. If this was Tyrann Mathieu being kicked out of the league for a year, we would sit up here and talk about it. So let's talk about how this man was kicked off the team. Let's talk about how he failed the drug test. Now let's talk about who he is now. Let's talk about him saying, I will get it fixed. Patrick Peterson saying, I will help him get it fixed. I was on the phone with him when he was getting kicked off the team. I was texting him after he got arrested, and he was a man who wanted to be helped. He was a man who wanted to be different. That's the difference between him and the people that continue to fail, the people that continue to let it affect their money. You have to want to be better, and he did. And now what he's gotten, he got hybrid money. See, that's going to be a new type of money. It's not safety money. It's not corner money, but it's somewhere in the middle. It's hybrid money, which is why when I met Jalen Ramsey, I said, don't fall in love with being the #1 corner.
Well, let me say this. We're sitting here at Steelers camp. What's the difference between a Tyrann Mathieu and a Martavis Bryant? We got a guy that overcame his liabilities, his doldrums, whatever words you want to use that you find appropriate. He accepted the challenge. He accepted help. He's doing what he's doing. Why am I bringing up Martavis Bryant? It's not just because we're at Steelers camp. It's not just because we're going to have some Steelers up here on the set with us. It's not just because he's not here and possibly may have cost the Steelers a Super Bowl title. Not to say that that's definitely, but he's an elite #2 guy.
He is.
You know what the problem that I have with Martavis Bryant more than anything else right now? What in the hell are you doing in L.A.? I mean, you're Martavis Bryant. You're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You get suspended for the year. You get suspended for the year. And I mean,
don't be seen at all.
L.A.?
Don't be seen at all.
Mean, you want to go and rehabilitate and get yourself ready. I love L.A. Please don't get me wrong. I love the sunshine. I love La La. Please don't get me wrong. But you want to rehabilitate yourself because you can't stay off the week and you go to La La?
A lot of players do, though, in the offseason.
He didn't want it. To both of your points. I wish I could argue, but there's no arguing with this point. First of all, whatever you want to say about what is addictive or what isn't, don't tell me that. You can be addicted to anything.
Yes.
And I'm quite sure that someone who is willing to sacrifice their entire, very lucrative professional future because they can't, as Stephen A. says, lay off the weed.
You're addicted.
You are obviously addicted, and that's why I said the irony in all this and my position that they shouldn't test is actually the guys who continually get caught happen to be the ones that the testing actually helps in terms of their personal life, in the sense that they clearly have a problem. And even beyond that, some guys want to be great. They want it. They are willing to sacrifice whatever it takes to be great.
And that's
Tyrann Mathieu.
He wants to be great.
Others happen to be good at a sport. You know what happen to be able to make a living at a sport.
Check this out. This is the way I'm going to put it. Some dudes want to be great because they want to be great. Other dudes want to be great enough to get paid.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Well, I think,
and that's what Herm talks about when you love football or you love what it brings.
Are you internally motivated or are you externally motivated? The greats are internally motivated.
He wants to be a legend. This is what I'll say. Going to LSU, he's the greatest LSU player I have ever seen with my own eyes. He's the best player to ever play in Tiger Stadium.
He's a bad boy.
Internal motivation. Those are the the Kobe Bryants of the world. They're getting up shooting in an empty gym. External motivation. I'm in a contract year.
You are with me shooting in the gym.
This miniature dude on a defense. Then we ain't talking about a running back or a quarterback. This miniature dude who plays on defense. Both safety positions, linebacker, blitzing a quarterback all day. Doesn't matter. Did you see not that you could see air, but you almost felt like you literally, like air was tangible. You could see it, you feel it obviously, but you could see the air come out of the Arizona Cardinals when he went down. If he were healthy against the Carolina Panthers, I'm not saying that the outcome would have been, different in terms of wins and losses, but I think it would not have been as lopsided as it has ended up being.
By the way, top overall scoring offense makes the Super Bowl almost 50% of the time, and Arizona is going to be right there. They're going to be right in that running.
Very happy for Tyrann Mathieu. I had the opportunity to interview him a couple times at LSU and with the Cardinals. He is the highest paid safety. We are happy for him. Speaking of that, Max, up next when we come back from Latrobe, we have SI's preseason power rankings, and I don't think you'll be that surprised where the Cardinals are. But what about the Steelers? We'll show you that list. We will react to it when we come back.